All opinions are those of the participants making them and are not an endorsement of any position, program, religion, or political affiliation. DFG's Corner is for information, observation, and entertainment. I ask that you comment, like, share, and subscribe.
Other than what I said earlier, okay, so we could turn it off of the work loyalty, turn it to more of the relationship or family loyalty. We kind of brought it up a little bit when it came to the family dynamics where, if you had a business or if you have a family, not necessarily business, but where maybe you had like 4 or 5 generations of dentists or doctors or teachers or lawyers. And then that one generation decided, look, I don't want to follow that. I want to go on my own. Um, those are the type of loyalties you have when it comes to family dynamics. Or are you loyal to your word, just your word, period, of when you talk to somebody or yourself? Are you loyal to yourself, stating that you're going to be truthful to yourself of how you live your life? Sometimes we say we're going to do something and we turn on our own selves, believe it or not. We turn on our own selves where we decide we're not no longer going to do that because we don't want to, or we don't have the patience, or um you know stuff like that. Does anybody have anything when it comes to that situation of family loyalty or the family dynamics?
Well, we
I
do have
can personal dynamics of personal
we
loyalty.
yeah, I think we do overall. We've had our spats, interpersonal spats with our immediate and sort of distant families. But I want to hear from Summer when it comes to family dynamics, family loyalty. How are you with your children, and how are you with your parents, and does is loyalty important to y'all, to your lineage?
Yes. So basically, how we were raised was my mom and dad always stressed that they wanted my brothers and I to be more and do more than they did. They want us to, if they never got a chance to go to college, they would love for the opportunity for us to go to college. So they always wanted us to experience more, to travel more, to do more than they were afforded to.
Okay.
Now, with the way my father is now, he's retired. He owns 13 acres of land in North Carolina, and he's going to be leaving that legacy behind to us. So, the legacy of land. So, he's always tried to instill, that. So, that is what we try to, uh, reach out to our children and explain to our children. We always want them to do better than we have. We want them to travel the world. We want them to be able to survive on their own if something happens to us. Not necessarily, a business. We just want them, just like you, to have just productive citizens, be able to, thrive in the world and grow and be good people. But if my husband and I decide to buy a home and we leave it to our children, we would like for them to at least keep that in the family, like generational wealth, something that they can pass on. So it's always something more, leaving them a little bit of something so that they can sustain in the world, so that they don't struggle.
Okay. Okay. That's. And how do do you have siblings? I didn't ask.
Yeah, I'm the big sister. I have two younger brothers.
Okay. So question, are y'all tight? Are y'all, you know, do y'all hold each other down, or do y'all sit on each other's heads, and pass gas?
Right. So, I am like the second mom. I've had to raise them when mom and dad were at work. So they are my brothers / my children. So they come to me. We are very close. I call my mom and dad almost every day. I'm 40, almost 50 years old with a husband and kids, and I still check in with my parents and see how they're doing and stuff. So we are extremely, extremely tight. And I love my parents for that. We have a wonderful relationships. They're from the Bronx, New York, represent. And yeah, I've heard stories about how my father, they struggled. 9 brothers and sisters in the house, didn't know when the next meal was going to come from, and things of that nature. And I remember us growing up, and they saying, "Boy, y'all just don't even know what we went through growing up. Y'all don't know how good y'all got it." And then I find myself saying the same thing to my kids. And I don't know if y'all can relate to this, but that comedy special with Earthquake, oh my goodness. If I told my son to go take that trash out and get that living room clean and help me out, he probably put a suicide note on the dresser because he done fall apart. He can't, that's too much. He's overwhelmed and he need a mental health day and all that. So this is a whole new, and I forgive me, and I don't, and I forgive me for cursing and stuff like that. But Earthquake called them punk ass kids. They just ain't built like us. They ain't got it.
So
So,
whose fault is that though?
yeah, there you go. Now
Yeah.
that's another thing I was gonna say, because that's a whole nother discussion. But you want your children to be exposed to a good life. You want I don't know how I can explain it. My father, and I'm just going to say this one last thing. My father raised me. My father set a very high caliber in a man. Okay. And so when I got out into the world and I got out into the dating world, automatically I was like, oh no. You know what I mean? Oh no, 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 I'm not doing that. He's not nice. He's not kind. He's just, so my father set a real high caliber for me. And so it's, you want to, it's hard. It's tough. It's tough. It's a tough world. But you just day by day, you want the best for them. But I think it's all about, I constantly tell my kids, I sit them down, I said, listen, the whole goal here is, you think I'm being hard on you, you think I'm, all up in your mix and all of that stuff. But if something were to happen to me tomorrow, I have to know that to get up in the morning, to keep your teeth clean, to keep your body clean, to get up and go to work every day, you're on automatic. I did my job. You're going to make it. You're going to be all right. And as long as I've did that, then, the mission is complete. So I'm not your friend right now. I'm raising you. And as long as you got those fundamentals, we're going to be all right. But that's the goal. So as long as I'm constantly telling them what the goal is, there shouldn't be there's no argument. We're not going back and forth. This is what the mission is. So when I leave here, you're straight.
That's a good way to
So
that's a good way to put it. That's a definitely good way to pull it. Nicole, we just found each other as a family about 2 years ago. One thing I wanted to ask, because you and our great grandfathers were siblings, um, how was loyalty treated on your side of your side of on your side of the family?
It's a good question. I think that every, okay, I think we have different family dynamics. And I think really going through ancestry, I'm finding out more about my family as far as the Martins and my grandmother and my great grandmother. I think at the end of the day, I'm going to say that we have a very close family. Um, I know you've been on the call with David before, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he's very family oriented, extremely. I think he talks to my mom more than I do. So we're very close, but we all have our own individual personalities. And I think that I've always been able to express myself, and that is something that I can respect from my mom and dad. They've never pigeonholed me. So I've always been able to just be who I am. And
Thanks for watching. This is the man with the golden voice, the lady's choice, and of course, smooth as a Rolls Royce, saying, never make love by the garden gate, though love is blind, the neighbor's aim.